Hey, you guys, it's Christina with Leads and Leverage, and I'm here today to show you how to get listings, how to get seller leads from Facebook. So we're actually going to talk about the 4-step, what I call success path to actually generate seller leads, to generate sellers who are interested in selling. So there's 4 main steps that you have to go through, and we're going to walk through those today. I'm going to give you as much as I can in the short amount of time that I'm going to be with you. But first, as always, I would love it if you would comment below. Say hi. Let me know that you are here. Just say hi. You guys are awesome. So do me a favor and say that. And we're going to go over the 4-step success path that you need to know, understand, and implement so that you can generate seller leads from Facebook, like every single day from Facebook. So do me a favor, comment below, tell me hi. And if you want the workbook, I've got a workbook for you. I've got a workbook for you. If you want that workbook, just type seller lead funnel in the comments below. And I will show this right now on the screen. If you want the workbook, type seller lead funnel. And this seller lead funnel is actually walking through some very specifics. I'm going to go a little bit broader here. This is going to walk you through the actual ad pieces that you need. I'm going to walk you through everything, like the entire thing that you need. So get a pen, get some notes. Y'all ready? Hi, Pauline. Hi, Christy. She's sitting in the same room as me. Still saying hi. You guys are awesome. So let me know that you're here. Comment, say hi. Are you guys ready for this? Hi, Michael. All right, so let's do this. I've got a whole process that we're going to go through so that you can get seller leads from Facebook. Hi, Iris. Don't forget, type seller lead funnel in the comments. I'll get you the workbook that walks you through the ad pieces, but I'm going to go through the whole thing today for you guys. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, David. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the 4 steps of your seller lead funnel success path. There's actually 4 steps, and each one builds on the other. A lot of us just go along and go, okay, I just need to run an ad to get leads. Because, who doesn't want to just run an ad to get leads? I don't know. I do. I'd love to do that. But you actually have to have some pieces in place before and some pieces in place after so that you actually reach everything you want, everyone you want to reach, the right people you want to reach, and capture them, etc. So we're going to talk about going from knowing nothing and getting nothing to leads coming in daily. That's what we're going to walk through today, right now. So what I want to know from you guys, I know you guys are all saying hi. Hi, guys. Hi, Luz. Hi, Paul. Hi, Iris. And I know you guys are asking for this workbook or this template, but I want to ask you a question. Have you had consistent long-term success getting seller leads from Facebook? Have any of you had that? And I know that there are some of you that have, and you're just looking for that one little tweak, that one little change that's going to make your success even better or last even longer. But for those of you who are struggling with it, I'd like to really know, are you struggling? Like, what piece do you think you're struggling with this process when it comes to getting seller leads from Facebook? Because I'm really focusing on seller leads in this because, let's be real, listers last. And I think a lot of times agents say, I like working with buyers because listers or sellers scare them. I think that the idea of feeling like they're responsible for making sure a home gets sold can be overwhelming. But guys, listings are so much easier. They're so much more fun, honestly. They're so much less taxing and less draining. And listers last. When you control the listings as an agent, when you have the listings, you're in control of your business. You kind of, you set the market to work for you. And right now, I know in a lot of places, it's hard to get listings because it's a pretty tight market right now. So, and I know a lot of you are like, well, I'll work with buyers, but then you feel like buyers can be flaky. Well, everybody can be flaky, but you feel like maybe buyers can be flaky, or it's harder to get them to be loyal. In some ways it is, because when a seller has a contract, your sign's in their yard and they sign a contract and they get it, they know it. But a buyer doesn't actually really get it when they sign a contract, and then you have to pursue them and blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying a whole lot of things, but here's the thing. Hi, Roxanne. So here's the thing. We're going to talk through the 4 steps. The very, very first step of your success path to getting seller leads is your strategy. Okay. You're like, yeah. My strategy is I want to get seller leads. Yeah. Okay. That's an idea. But a strategy is the process that you're going to use to execute it. It is not the tactics. It is not the execution. It is understanding what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and why. Now I get it. You're going, I know why I want the listings. Yeah. But you got to understand the how, what, and why as it pertains to the medium that you're going to use or the way you're going to do it. So for example, here on Facebook, what's happening is so many agents are running ads out on Facebook. So they're running like home value ads. We're just going to stick with home value ads. They're running home value ads in a whole lot of ways. Get your value now. It's time to sell. Market's up, market's down, market's sideways, market's whatever. And they're just like throwing these ads out to people. And when they do target, like some of you guys are like throwing them out to the whole entire country, which is absurd. And that's just from not knowing targeting. But when they do target and do it, they're just kind of throwing it out there. And there's no warmed up audience. There's just an ad. It's like throwing a billboard up somewhere. It's like making random cold calls, doing the exact same thing on Facebook. If you do it the way I'm talking about right now, it's old versus new. And I don't mean necessarily old school, belly to belly versus new school, and it's all online. I don't actually mean that. What I mean is the strategy is very much old school. The strategy that you want to go back to is the new version of the old school. Let me explain what I mean. Around the 60s, not before that, we got radio, and around the 60s, TVs really started being in every single house, right? And then color television, et cetera, in the 70s. So all through that, because it was all newfangled and new, the whole Mad Men era came about. We didn't have a lot of sensory overload. So when ads were done, the reason people think this kind of advertising works is because it was new. And people were still of the mindset, the general population was still of the mindset that everybody was your friend. It was your neighborhood insurance guy. It was your neighborhood car dealer. It was your neighborhood store owner. It was your neighborhood realtor or real estate agent. Whatever way, when they saw ads on TV or heard them on the radio, there were not that many, and they trusted them all, because they were still used to belly to belly. They were still used to relationship, right? So that's why what I'm calling the new school, this is going to be confusing. This is why this push advertising worked. There wasn't that much of it, and people were still feeling like there was a relationship there even when there wasn't. All right. So fast forward to now. Well, we're still doing things the same way as we did when we started out in the Mad Men era, right? However, we're not getting the same results because it never really worked. See, nowadays, we're on to everybody. We don't trust anybody. We have the attention span of less than a goldfish, 8 seconds. There's way too much noise, and we crave relationship. So we're back to the old school. I'm hoping this is not too confusing. You guys tell me, are you confused? Do I have you lost? I want you to understand that for the last 50 years, we've been doing crap that seemed to work on the surface until it was proven that it didn't work, because it required throwing more and more and more and more money at it to try and get people to actually respond to it. And now we have an entire planet of people who are cynical, don't believe it, and don't pay attention to it anymore. That's why ads fly away on their newsfeed. Now we're back to belly to belly. Relationship marketing. Relationship marketing. You cannot throw an ad out there that's push marketing and think that it's relationship marketing. It's not. We're at a space, and Facebook is giving us this powerful, amazing tool to use where we can skip the last 50 years of crap and actually get beyond the noise in front of people in a relationship way, in a way that we're building a relationship so that they know, like, and trust us so that they want to use our services. All right, you guys. So we're basically, we're resurrecting the original old school. I don't know how else to say that, but that's what we're doing. We're resurrecting the original old school, which is about relationships, which is about getting to know people, which is about building know, like, and trust relationships. And if you think of the strategy that you're going to use on Facebook, that's why number one is strategy. It's old versus new. It's sale versus relationship. Seriously. So anybody who's still in that get a sale mentality, that's their focus, which means that you're always running like a little gerbil, a little hamster on a little hamster wheel, and you never get off. You never get a second to actually let that hamster wheel work for you. You got to keep working it, which is why so many agents who might be successful in their first 5 years are out of the business still in their first 5 years because they cannot sustain that. There's not enough new people or people that they can just keep doing that to get business from. They're not building relationships with people. They're not developing long-term nurture prospects with people. They're not turning people into a know, like, and trust relationship or a fan for life. And that's where when you have that strategy shift about how Facebook actually works and how people actually respond, when you can shift from just get the leads to building a know, like, and trust relationship, we can scale this. Baby, we can scale this and we can make it big. So this is not just about one-on-one. But when you have that shift from it's a lead, it's a process, just do this, to, hey, I can actually nurture these people here and I can bring them in, and when they're ready, they'll use me. That's what's going to be your strategic shift in all of this. And that's what's going to make your home value ads, and I put a quote around it because you can use a variety of ads, but that's what's going to make them valuable and hyper responsive, even more responsive. If you have to keep throwing more and more and more and more money just to get people to respond to your ad, there's a problem. There's a problem. You're targeting the wrong people. You've got the wrong ad, there's a problem with that. So, hey guys, I see a whole bunch of you. I see a whole bunch of members who are asking for this, and this is on the member site, by the way. And you guys can ask for it, but it is on the member site, by the way. Hi, Rick. Hi, Indy. Hi, Lippy. Hi, Mike. And I say I saw Michael and Roxanne and Luz. You guys are awesome. So step one is strategy. You've got to understand that we're going back to what it's really about. Know, like, and trust. That's what we're going back to. So how do you do that and get people to respond to your ads? Well, you got to have the right tools and the right setup. So this is step number 2. So the tools and setup, I see a lot of agents who go, okay, I need a landing page, or okay, I need something, or I need something. Not all tools are created equal. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So when you're advised to get a high converting landing page, and I very specifically say get lead pages, and you go like, I've got listings to leads, or I'm just going to use a page on my website, or I've got this, or I've got that. You're not going to have the same results. There's so much science and so much stuff behind a page that actually converts. And it's not just the layout, you guys. It's in the coding. It's in everything. That if you don't use the right tools, you might think you're using the right tools. You might even think you have the right process in place. And you might have the right kind of process, but the wrong tools. That's where you're going to fail. If you don't have the right tools in place, you're not going to get the conversions. You're not going to get the results. So tools are necessary. The right ones are necessary. So you've got your right strategy. You've got the tools. And then it comes to the setup. There are a couple of different ways that you can set up your funnels. One way is to warm up cold traffic. The other way is to keep warm traffic warm. And then the final way is to convert warm traffic into leads. Yeah, you got to do this in layers. If you're just going after cold traffic with a direct shot and, hey, I'm going to go target my area. I want them to go to a home value and I want them to give me their name and their address and their phone number and when they want to sell and when this and when that. You ain't going to get nobody. And I'm saying that grammatically incorrect for emphasis. You're going to suck at the lead generation thing. We are so worried about getting to the table with the contract that we forget there are a whole bunch of other steps in between that process, that point. You do not meet somebody, marry them in an hour, and start having kids the next hour. First of all, it's not possible unless it was like already pre-planned and they were already pregnant. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It is, you don't just walk up to somebody and say, hey, let's get married right now. And I realize that there's probably going to be somebody who comes out of the woodwork and says, well, I did that in Vegas. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm saying you need to date. You need to date people. But we're out there trying to like get the people who are ready to grow old in a rocking chair with us right now and jump to that point in time. Not how it works. You have to have several layers of a process going on so that if you just go out to cold traffic, if you just send that ad out to cold traffic, it's going to suck. It's going to suck because nobody, you're like, well, I want people who are ready, willing, and able to buy now. Well, so do the other 1 billion realtors on the planet or in the US. However many there are, there's like right around 1 million realtors. There's like 2 million real estate agents in the US. So here's the thing. Everyone else wants the same thing too. If everyone else was getting it, real estate agents would make a little bit more money. In fact, more agents would be more successful. 87% of agents would not be out of the business in 5 years or less. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got. If you keep following what you see everybody else doing, you're going to get what they're getting too, which is nothing. So you have to do strategy tools and you got to get the stuff set up in the way that actually brings cold people into your sphere and turns them into warm people. This is a whirlpool. This is the whirlpool of warmness or the whirlpool of awesomeness, or as Stu McLaren says, the circle of awesomeness. But that's not really his circle of awesomeness. So I digress. But you need to bring them in. You need to bring them from cold into warm, keep them warm them up more, and then make them hotter. And you do that through a series of ad types, okay? That's how you do it. It's easy and it's a lot less complicated and less expensive than you might think. In fact, you're going to convert more leads at a lower cost if you do it this way than if you just send out something to a cold audience and try and get leads. Amazing how that works, huh? Hi, Joni. Sorry, I don't know. I never know, like Johnny Erickson Tata or Joni Erickson Tata. I never know which one it is. So sorry about that. Okay. Step three. And I already kind of alluded to it. You're gotta put the whirlpool in motion. That means that you're going to leverage all of these things, all of these resources, all of these assets that you can create, that you have to build relationships, to create relationships, to build relationships, to nurture relationships from your content on your page, from your content on your blog, to maybe on YouTube, whatever, not all of them, but some of them, to your ads. And you're going to use that to create a whirlpool effect so that people are coming in and out of your presence at all times, not just seeing an ad that you put out, but they're coming in and out of your knowledge. They see something that you put out. Let me use an example. What are you all watching right now? This video right now, this one right here. So if you're not a member, let's exclude all the members. If you're not a member of Leads and Leverage, what are you watching right now? What do you think this is? This is a training. Absolutely. Am I selling you something? Not at the moment. Am I teaching you something? Absolutely. This is part of my whirlpool. This is part of the whirlpool thing. It's to teach you something so that you can move a next step, so that you can build confidence in yourself and your own ability to do something, and so that you can get to know me, so you can get to understand how I work, so that you can get to know that what I'm teaching will work for you. It's all part of the whirlpool. So this is a piece of content, if you will. Your blog posts can be a piece of content. Your emails can be a piece of content. Your ads can be a piece of content. Your Facebook post can be a piece of content. And you can use them all to create this whirlpool. And this whirlpool moves people around. Once they come in, they get warmer and warmer and warmer, and they get to know you more. And if you put out the right stuff and you teach them, give them answers to problems that they have, they learn to know, like, and trust you. Funny how that works, isn't it? When they do, guess what happens? When you do have something to sell them, they're more inclined to want to buy that something. So when you do have a house that they might be interested in, guess who they're inclined to use? You, because they've gotten to know, like, and trust you. They know what you're going to say about something already if you're honest with them and say it out loud. They know how you're going to act, especially if you're using video. Guys, if you're using video, it reveals who you are. It really does. If you do enough video, it's going to be obvious whether you're trying to be fake or not. I tend to have more energy on a video than off of a video because you need to bring the energy when you're on video. You just need to. But I do tend to be more energetic. And let's be honest, it's me talking and you listening. There's nobody else talking to me. So it's kind of a one-way relationship, just a little bit, except that I look at your questions and respond to them. So you have to bring a little bit of different energy in this. So there's a slight difference, but when they come to LNL Live, or when they come and meet me in person or see me in a training or in a private coaching, they're like, you're exactly like I saw in your videos. Yeah, I am. So this is content. This is about how you're building relationships with other people, people who don't know you, so that you can help them. That's the point of this. A lot of you want to help people. That's why we're here. All right. So step 1 is strategy, old versus new. Remember, we're going back to what really works, not just what we've gotten distracted with over the last 50 years. 2, the tools. The tools you use are important. You can't just use any tools you want. You can't just, like I said, landing page can't just be a page on your website, can't just be any old vendor. It needs to be one that actually has high conversions. The setup, part of the tools is the setup. Getting it set up in the layers, how it works, how you're going to execute. 3 is the whirlpool. You're going to bring people in from cold traffic to warm traffic. You're not taking them. I've talked about the buckets before. You are not taking them from cold to closed client in one step. It does not happen like that. Stop acting like it happens like that. It does not happen like that. In over 4,000 transactions, we had one that took 13 days from the moment we met them to the day we closed. One out of 4,030 some transactions or 20 some transactions. Out of 20 years, one transaction took 13 days from the moment we met them to the time we closed. That is not real. That is not real. Are you going to wait for that one transaction out of 4,000? Allow me to tell you, 99.999% of agents don't even get to 400 transactions, let alone 4,000. You'll never get there. So you have to be going, okay, most of these people that I'm meeting, even in person, even the people you meet in person, if you don't stick them into a nurture process, into that whirlpool process that I'm talking about, you're going to lose them. You need to have them into the follow-up, the dreaded follow-up, the dreaded providing actual value, not crap with logos on it that we think is value, like real value, answering problems, solving problems, answering questions, things like that. But even the people you meet will take 9 to 18 months to actually become a client. Overall, when you actually track those numbers, the problem is we don't track the numbers. We don't track every single name we get. We don't track every single card that we give out. We don't track it all. So we don't realize that, yeah, it really is. It's about 9 to 18 months because people need time to think. They need time to decide. They randomly mention that they're starting to think about this. I mean, we started looking for a house 2 years because we were going to go we were coming off the road. I don't know if you guys know our story, but we traveled when we were in real estate. The last couple of years of our business, we traveled for 15 months in our RV with our kids and our dog and our cats, and started Leads and Leverage while we were on the road. And we didn't want to plant it. We wanted to keep traveling. So we didn't buy a house right away. After we came off the road, we'd just sold our house, our residential house. And we were like, we're not going to buy, we're going to keep traveling. So we stayed in a townhouse. Then that was after, when you're in a motorhome, in a 30-foot long motorhome with 4 teenagers, 2 adults, 4 cats and a dog, a 2-bedroom townhouse that's like 1,500 square feet is a flippin' mansion. totally is, right? So after about a year, that became too small. Sure is amazing. We grow to fit our space. So we rented a house and we're like, okay, I guess we're staying. Then my parents sold their primary residence and were in transition for a couple of years, and we wanted to wait for them. So when we were waiting for them to plant it, because we wanted to be closer to them. So here's the thing. When we were starting, I was starting to just kind of look 2 years before we actually bought. 2 years. And yeah, I'm not your typical client. I'm not going to use another realtor. Hello, my whole family's realtors. And yeah, just not. Even at that point, I was still licensed. So when we were still looking. So here's the thing. But that was a 2 year. And I noticed that that's when most people kind of start looking. They get that little itch, and they start looking at houses. They have no idea what their current house is costing. They don't think about interest rates. They hear you blabber it, but they don't think about it going up or down or whatever. They might hear you saying it. At that point, they don't care if it's $100 difference in their payment because they're not ready to take action. So you need to help them beyond that. Instead of trying to push them to buy, help them where they're at. And that's the whole whirlpool part, where you're nurturing and you're helping people. All right. So number 1 is strategy. Number 2 is tools and setup. Number 3 is whirlpool in motion. Number 4, hi, Tammy. How are you? Number 4 is leads coming in daily. I call these come list me calls. And it's funny how the last several years of our business, that's all we had. Come list me calls. We didn't have to lead generate. I mean, we didn't have to pursue anything. I lead generated, but we didn't have to really pursue anything because I had systems set up and we would get come list me calls. And I know that some of the members, when they first started Leads and Leverage, it was brand new and they knew I was talking about come list me calls, but they knew it, but they didn't know it. And when they started getting them, it was just shocking to them. Like, oh my gosh, you really mean this? Yes, I really mean it. So when you have leads coming in daily and you're running them through that whirlpool, like I said, between ads and content and just actually giving value, you will be getting nearly daily, depending on how big you get, come list me calls. What's a come list me call? It is a phone call that literally says, we're ready to list our house. Will you come bring whatever you need and let's go? Yeah, it's not I was thinking about selling and I'm going to interview 4 people and please tell me how awesome you are. They already know how awesome you are. They already know they're going to use you. They just want you to come sign the paperwork. That's a come list me call. And that's what you'll get if you build this right, if you have the right strategy and understand how Facebook works and how people actually work and how people are responding to things nowadays. 2, if you have the right tools and set them up in the right way to work for you and stop trying to automate every pickin' thing on the planet. Seriously, you cannot. There is not one be all end all CRM. There is not. There is not one be all end all online thing that will do it all for you. There is not. If they're good in one area, they will suck in another area. You want to make sure that you are using the best tool for the best thing. So what I mean by that is, for a tool, your website will not work for high converting landing pages. I don't care if you use Thrive themes. I don't care if you use whatever or whatever. They're good. They always suck at one thing. You cannot be a master of multiple things. Jack of all trades, master of none. You need the tool that's going to give you the highest thing that you need at that moment. So if you need a high converting landing page, you better be getting a high converting landing page and not trying to figure out how to cheap out and save a few pennies on something that, well, that one does that. You guys, you have to stop thinking like that. You need to use the right tools in the right setup so you actually get the leads. You are putting money into Facebook ads. Don't let it go down the drain because you used the wrong tool. Okay, so strategy, tools, and setup. Whirlpool in motion. This is where you leverage your content that you're creating. You leverage your ads, different ads, the posts on your page, whatever you're doing, and you leverage them all to build relationships. And I mean real relationships. I mean really allowing people to get to know you and you getting to know them. And what I mean by that, I don't mean you can't really get to know an individual too well in this realm. unless they're engaged with you, you get to know them a little bit. But what they can do is you can allow them to get to know you. And that's what's important. They need to get to know you, and you need to get to know them as a whole. And what I mean by that is when you allow them to get to know you, they start asking questions. So several people will ask questions, and you start serving and answering those questions and giving based on those questions. So you get to know the people that you're going to work with as a whole, which helps you get to know them as an individual. So for example, inside Leads and Leverage, I like to help real estate agents that tend to be a high S or a high I on the DISC personality. Why? Because I feel like they are underserved. They're kicked aside in our industry because if you're not a high, this is the industry thing. If you're not a high D, if you're not willing to go pound the doors and make the phone calls, you're never going to be a team leader or have a big business. Yes, that is a thought that is prevalent in our industry. I hate it. I disagree with it. I have seen people prove it wrong over and over again, which is why I tend to like the ones who are underserved, which tend to be the high S's, the high I's, and the high C's. Well, I know what some of your needs are because you guys talk to me and you share me. I may not know you very exactly specifically, but I know what you struggle with. I know what you're facing from some of your colleagues. I know what you're facing from the gurus. I know what you're facing from going to expos in the industry. I know that you struggle with shiny object syndrome. I know that you're frustrated, that you can't seem to quite get that, or that you feel like you're alone read, or going upstream without a paddle, that you have nobody else supporting you. I understand that because you as a whole have shared that with me. So that's what you can do. You can get to know your people the same way, which then you're helping them on a one-to-many scale, but allows you to help people and build know, like, and trust relationships, which is crazy because this allows you to build it on a one-to-many scale, guys, so you can grow and you're building relationships. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how that works? But here's something else you build. You build rabid loyalty. That's what you do. You build people who will do anything you say, and you be very careful with that power because it is. And the first time I was told that by someone, they were like, I will do whatever you say. I was like, what? It was a joke. I thought it was a joke. And this person has said it over and over again over the years. And I'm like, okay, that's actually quite an honor and a privilege to carry, knowing that I could say, do this, they would do this, which puts a huge burden of responsibility on me, on you, with your people. It puts a huge burden of responsibility to make sure that what you're telling them to do will work for them. So you need to make sure that you're serving people in a way that actually serves them, help them. So when you're running your ads, when you're running this strategy, get back to the whole, it's about the people. Hard for high Ds to do. It's about the people. Strategy, get the right tools in place so you can actually convert them, right? Right tools in place, get them into that whirlpool to get them to know you and leverage what you have and what you can create to do that. No, you can't outsource your blogs to ghostwriters if you want to develop real relationships. Yes, this is a money-making endeavor. You need to write it. You need to slap anybody who tells you outsource your ads, outsource your blogs. Now, you never outsource your voice. You never outsource who you are. Yes, you can outsource the actual, plug this in here, plug that in here, as long as you understand the process and how it works. You can absolutely outsource the individual task, but you cannot outsource anything that's about the relationship that requires you to build that relationship, which means to be you, to speak like you speak, to share like you share, to serve like you serve. Gotta be you. Gotta be you. Cindy's a high IS. Does not surprise me. Cindy. Yep. And it's totally doesn't surprise me because I'll tell you right now, it's really funny. I know the Ds, the minute they get on, they'll watch this in replay and they're like, will you get to the point, please? And I'm a high D. And so when I'm looking for stuff, I just get to the point. I just want pull out the thing. But what I have learned is that especially over the last several years, is that the value is in listening to everything that's going on. The value is in the underlying what's being said. The value is in hearing it multiple times in multiple ways. D's don't like that. I know we don't. But the value and the mastery is in that. And I's and S's tend to love the relationship, the conversation. Even C's struggle because they're about tasks. So it's very different. So I can tell a D when they get on this because they don't want to hear any of the chit chat. They just want to get down to the point. So they don't actually, what's interesting is I have to be careful because sometimes I think they don't want to learn, but it's just their D reacting first and foremost. Yeah, hi D, I hear. Yeah, so it's typically the D reacting. But when, and I was just going to say, convenient that Rick says this, when a D comes along, and they're willing to just lift through what they call the fluff to keep learning, they're invested in mastery. And we have a couple of Ds in the membership that are very focused on mastery. And they know that my focus is working with agents that are I's and S's mostly about relationship. And they know that, but they keep learning, they keep staying because they're like, no, I know you know what I need to know. And you're doing what I need to do. So I'm staying. I don't care if there is perceived fluff, if that makes sense. The high I's have it. I'm a DI. I think I showed you guys my disc. Several members are commenting. So I think I showed you guys my disc. DI, 99D, 99I. There I am. That is me, but I lead with my D. And it's interesting sometimes, which is why sometimes I do booty kick-ins inside the membership. And you guys know it because I'm just like, okay, this has got to stop because it's very S&I to like talk a lot about blah, 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 blah. And it's very D to go shut up and get moving. Like, yeah, very, very, very D. All right. So strategy, tools and setup, whirlpool in motion and leads coming in daily. All right. That is the process. So how do you do that? Well, guess what? Facebook Seller Lead Funnel course. Facebook Seller Lead Funnel course. Have it available for you guys. And I think if you asked for the Seller Lead Funnel, I'm going to send you also another message that will allow you to pop into the course. But I also have the link if you want to join the course. I know a lot of you are already in the course. I mean, like you're enrolled in the course already, but there is the link. If you are interested in joining the course, it is the Facebook Seller Lead Funnel. We're going to set up two funnels, two very specific funnels for seller leads. One will be a traffic ads focused funnel. One's going to be a lead ads focused funnel. And you are going to be getting leads by the end of the course, period, flat out. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. There's just no, like everybody keeps asking because it's an amazing guarantee. Go over to that link and look at the guarantee. It's double your money back. Everybody's asking, well, what about this about the guarantee? What about this? I'm like, guys, if you do what I say, you're going to be getting leads. It's really that simple. That simple. Seriously. Maybe not simple for all. It's simple. So we're going to do this. All right, you guys. So if you have any questions, let me know. Questions about this? Any questions on that? It's funny because we tend to gloss over the whole strategy thing, but it's actually the most important piece. Once you get that paradigm shift, that's what changes everything for you. I realize this whole time I've been looking at the wrong camera. I've been looking up there and you guys are like right there. No, you're not. Okay, Christy, tell me, am I looking at the camera right now? Can you tell?
It's a delay.
Oh, it's a delay.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm not. Oh my gosh, I was looking at the wrong camera the whole time. I'm sorry. It's like me not looking in your eyes when I talk to you. I hate that. Oh, well, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Oh, it's on the page. So guys, if you go to that link that I just put in there and I pinned it, all the details are there. I talk about the entire course on that page. I talk about the guarantee. I talk about all the details, when the class is, how much it is, everything. Everything is on that page. Oh, and also, I know some of you guys were asking about like, what kind of tools will I need? What kind of ad costs will I have? So when it comes to the tools, there are some specific tools that you're going to want. And yes, you're going to have to get one or two of them. However, I'm going to help you bootstrap it as much as possible. That's number one. Number two, which I can't really give you a number yet because you're going to pick what you're going to bootstrap. But number two, ad costs. You're going to be running a minimum of 2 ads, and you're going to want to budget $100 per ad minimum. So $10 per day for 10 days as we get through this. That won't be for the first couple of weeks. So you've got a little bit of time on that. It is not a monthly ad budget thing. At this point, you're going to start running these ads. You're going to be getting leads, and then you're going to continue running the ads because you're going to continue getting leads, but you'll get listings. So when you're getting listings, you're going to want to keep those leads running, or those ads running for the leads. Any other questions, you guys? Still looking at the wrong camera. Sorry. That camera was for some reason not showing up and not working. I don't know what was going on. Actually, no, this is the right one. I was looking at the right one the whole time. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, I know what oh, that sounded bad on everything. All right. So anyway, it's towards, it's 1:40 p.m. my time. I tend to be an early bird, and I think I'm ready. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. If you got this far, you realize how crazy I am. You guys are amazing. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I will see you hopefully inside Facebook Seller Lead Funnel. We're actually closing. I forgot to say this. We're closing enrollment Sunday, and we have 50, just a minute. We had 61, or we had 62 earlier, but we had 1, 2, 3, just a minute, 60. 61, 62, 61, 60, 70, 78. Sorry, I'm trying to do the math off the top of my head. 78 seats. No, 58 seats left. Oh my gosh. Yep, it's time for me to go. 58 seats left. And if we get to our full enrollment, we will close it before Sunday. So if you want in, sign up now. Wow. I'm going to go now. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.